Well, in your studies, so today we are going to revise chapter number 1 of your book, that is Political Theory and Introduction. In this chapter, we are having a brief description about the rest of the chapter which are mentioned in your book, like freedom, equality, nationalism, citizenship, development, etc. So first of all, we will see what do you mean by politics. So politics is a word which is normally taken in a negative sense. If you will ask any person in a society, what do you mean by politics, the first thought which will come in their mind, that may be scams, fraud, politicians, leaders, and their policies, and how the government is not fulfilling the desires of the people. So mostly it is taken as a negative context. So it is much wider aspect than what we have in our day-to-day life. Normally you must have seen the people are saying, don't involve me in the politics, I'm not the part of that politics, and don't, politics is a dirty game. So these are kind of perceptions which the people are having. But this politics is a very wide area, it is a very wide subject, and it is not about the corruption, government, or the manipulation of the policies or the programs of the government. It is much more than that. Today we are going to study all those aspects of the politics. So as you know, for living in a society we need some kind of rule and regulations, and we need some institutions which implement these rule and regulation, that is known as government. So government is very important pillar, or any important institution which is responsible for the smooth functioning of government. Many countries have different kind of setups. Some are the monarchical system, some are the democracy, some are the constitutional monarchy. So in any if I will take the example from India, so as we have the representative democracy, and most of the country nowadays are opting this democracy, because it is considered as one of the best form. Although there are many problems or many drawbacks of this democracy, but still it is better than the various other forms of the government. So because in democracy, if you have problem with the existing system, you have some rights, you can protest against the government, you can criticize the government policy, you can have demonstrations or dharnas against the government policy and programs which are not suitable to you. So that's why this democracy is considered as good form of government, and the people have some rights. So how this idea of rights emerge, who have given these concept or these ideas of freedom, equality, liberty, are they the god gifted, or some other authority has given these rights? So we will study how they emerge, what is the present system of the society and the structure of politics, how it emerges, what is the history behind it, and how it in the present system. Next we have, why do we study politics? Now the question comes in our mind, I am the very simple man, I am the very simple person, I don't have any give and take with the politics, I am not interested in politics. This is the normal assumptions about the politics from the people. But I would say, if you are directly related or not related, if you are interested or not, still the politics is related to you, because you are living in the society. Sometimes many people during this election, they don't go to cast their vote, and they think ki what will happen if I will not cast my vote. There will be no difference on the polling of the election if my vote will not be casted. But this is not the way, because every single vote matters, and after becoming the government, the whatever the policy they will make, that will influence us. So it is our responsibility to take part in the election system, and we should cast our vote wisely. So politics help us to know your rights. So whatever my profession, I am related to politics or not, but it gives us the idea how my rights are related to me, what are the rights which are given by the government or authority, and how I can access my rights. So all these concepts we can have by the study of politics. Then it's a living dynamic subject. So what do you mean by living dynamic subject? Earlier the perception of this freedom, equality, that is different. Now as we have seen in the society, the many changes occurs due to the expansion of technology and communication. So there are changes in many other sphere of life, like the meaning of liberty, equality is also need to redefine. For example, we have some fundamental rights. Now this right to education is added in that list as per the need of the hour. Second, earlier we have right to life. Now the right to livelihood is added, or the further explanation under this right to livelihood. So it is living or dynamic subject. It is not static or fixed, as per the need of the society or as per the expectations of the people. This is to be changed. This is not fixed, and we learn these things by the study of politics. Now, what do we study in politics? So these are the terms: democracy, freedom, equality, how they emerge, how they are in their present form, how they emerge, what is the history behind them. If you will see, in the past there are some political thinkers or some philanthropists who introduced, who questioned on the existing system of the government, like Kautilya, Aristotle, Plato, Rousseau, Karl Marx, and Mahatma Gandhi, B.R. Ambedkar. These are not the politician, or they are not directly related to the politics, but still they gave the ideas how the society should move on these concepts like democracy, freedom, and equality. If I talk about the Aristotle and Plato, Aristotle was the very wise person. He gave the concept of this democracy. He questioned whether monarchy is better or democracy is better. Then Rousseau, he gave the concept of freedom, means freedom is necessary for the growth of any person, and nobody can take this right of freedom. Then Karl Marx, he is the philosopher of socialist ideology, means there should be no rich and poor in the society. All have equal access to resources, and resources should be under the control of government. Then we have Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi has mentioned the idea of Swaraj in his book Hind Swaraj. Then B.R. Ambedkar, he also recommended the rights for the untouchable or the lower section of society, so that they have a dignified life in their day-to-day routine. So these are the concepts which are taken by the society in their present form, and there is a long process behind this journey and how we see the politics in today. Thank you.